Hello, good evening. We are live. We are going to be taking questions and we are going to be talking about the latest in immigration news. Welcome. Waiting for some people to get in. Welcome to the live session. We have a lot of questions on our private Facebook group where we are going to be answering those questions live. Okay. So, good evening, everybody. We are live. Who's in? We are talking about the latest in immigration news, what's going on with DACA, pretty much nothing, okay? They came up with a new rule to fortify DACA, but nothing really because the federal judge can always stop DACA as it is now. Hello, Jing. Hello, how are you? Jimmy Jills. Hi, Emeka Emerhum. How is everyone doing? How are you, Emeka? So we're going to be answering questions. We have a lot of questions on our private Facebook. I'm gonna share my screen. We're gonna just go ahead and answer questions. If you can hear me, say you can hear me. If you cannot, say you cannot. So we can start over. And by the way, we're celebrating 2 years on YouTube. Okay, we started on August 28th of 2020. Yay! Thanks for riding along. Let's get right into it. Let me share the screen and see what question we have here. Okay, so we have question on our Facebook group. I just want to go over those questions. Okay. Yes, we have this one. It says, "Oh, hello. Can anyone advise best visa to apply for? My husband is U.S. citizen but hasn't lived since 2009 because he has been working abroad. But he do pay taxes in the U.S. but he doesn't have a home there. But in 2 years he wants to finally relocate back to the U.S. and he wishes to take me and our kids with him. We are married for almost 2 years now. We have a 6 month old son together, and I have a 6 years old daughter, which is a stepdaughter. Please, which is the best, easiest way? Marriage, right? So you already married. That, yeah, you have to file a family petition, I-130, and with a green card petition based on the fact that he's a U.S. citizen. That's it. And I-485 together. So you have to file that. Then we go back here. It says, hello, everyone. I'm a U.S. citizen. I'm filing for I-130 online application for my parents. I'm currently outside of the U.S. for almost a year and returning in a month or two. Do I need to enter my address outside of the U.S.? I own a house in the U.S. That's my permanent address. I work and pay tax in Texas. This was a short trip, but I had to extend it to some personal reason. I don't mean to lie. Yeah, first of all, you don't lie on the application. Rule number one, right? Don't lie on the application. I'm just confused. I should provide U.S. permanent address, include temporary address outside the U.S. Yes. Where have you lived during the last 5 years? Okay. Provide physical address for the last 5 years, whether inside or outside of the U.S. Yeah, you gotta provide all addresses. Provide all addresses, whether inside or outside. Do not lie. Do not lie. Yes, you cannot lie on the application. That's what it is. You just can't. Okay. Okay, and then what else we have here? Yes, I do process EB3 visa. Yes. Yes, I do process EB3 visa. Okay. Any advice for experience with US spousal visa for a last resort tourist visa for are petition medical issue likely to get approved, and what are the requirements? And got married, pay fees for a marriage visa, found out the paperwork 7 years now standing over waiting possible approval after interview is depressing. Okay, what do you mean by David Smith? What do you mean by medical issues? Depending on what type of medical issues, right? If you go to uscis.gov and look at the medical issue that can prevent somebody from getting a immigrant visa, and sometimes those are waivable as well. Okay, so if you go here, admissibility based on health, based on health condition, right? You go to USCIS. Okay, so let me just cut it. Those are the inadmissibility based on health condition. Okay, I need it says, I need some advice, please. I'm single mother of three. We are South Africa. Sadly, there's a silent but brutal war against white African. Those who are leaving the farm. I was lucky to be able to escape to Vietnam, working English teacher with my two younger boys. But so what type of advice? Now, I need my kids somewhere safe, country taking African. I'm looking for a place to settle down. Well, in order for you to apply for asylum, you have to be physically present. If you're outside, you cannot apply for asylum from outside. You have to be physically present in the US. In US to qualify for asylum. Okay, if you're over there, it's just not gonna work. I was advised to withdraw my N 400 application, which I did. I started a new application and now I have a date for new biometric. I had last biometric 2021. Do I have to do a new one? Can someone please advise? Well, first of all, it's not up to you to decide whether you do the biometric or not. It's up to USCIS. Only USCIS can decide. Only USCIS can decide on whether you will take another biometrics or not. It's not up to you. So basically, okay. So Well, you can try, right? F1 visa, you can try. It's just up to the embassy to give you whether they can give you F1 visa or not, but you can always try. I have a U.S. tourist visa for 25 years. I want to visit again America. I'm a 71 years old. Can I bring my caregiver with me as long as the caregiver, as long as the caregiver get a visa as well. Caregiver must apply for a visa. Must also apply for a visa. As long as the caregiver get a visa as well, the caregiver must also apply for a visa. This person with F1, basically, you can try and see, whether the consulate will grant a visa, grant an F1 visa. Because in other words, you are still intended immigrant, so most of the time they won't give you the visa, right? But you can always try. Hi, my wife H4 is sent to Phoenix box from Phoenix. Will they be sent to California? I don't know. Ramhoe, what you can do is just call USCIS to find out where your wife I-765 will be sent to. I don't know. A case in the U.S. since I found student by overstay currently out of study. I was in removal proceeding case, but I got dismissed because non-party case. How I don't know what to do. Please need your advice. Anita Oriana. You were Anita Oriana. The case was dismissed based on non-priority. You can always apply. You can always refile with USCIS, depending on what was your defense when you were overstayed. So, Anita, you need to do a consultation because I can advise you here, but you better get a consultation because this is it's kind of tricky. You had F1 overstay in removal. What was your defense in removal? If asylum was your defense in removal, you can always, after the dismissal, go back to USCIS and apply for asylum, even if 1 year deadline has already passed, because now you can argue, how do you call it, extraordinary circumstances. So it's just up to you. Yes, they can apply for B1B visa, but less chance for approval. Okay, so let's go back. Let me go back. I stopped sharing. I think I answered all the questions. Okay, I think I answered all the questions on the Facebook group. So let's get here and get some questions here. My question is the following. My son is, let me go from the beginning, okay? Thank you, Emeka. Thank you. Lucy, can I get TPS after marriage misrepresentation? Lucio, are you talking about marriage fraud or misrepresentation? Because if it's 24C, I'm pretty sure you cannot get TPS. But if it's just misrepresentation that can be waived, then you can apply for a waiver and hopefully get granted, then you can get TPS. But if it's fraud, like 204C type of bar, I don't think you can get it. So it just depends on what type of misrepresentation you're talking about. Unless it will take to get a green card after the work authorization. Anime Tycoon. Are you talking about green card based on marriage? It takes at least 2 years for those petitions to be approved. Alphonse Winner, hi. My question is the following. This is Jill's. Is the following. My son is in Haiti. I am US with my wife. We filed for asylum. Do you think I can send my son in the US embassy for B2 visa? Jimmy Chelsea, you can only try, right? If you get granted, fine. B2 visa, it's I've made a video about it, right? You can look at the tips on how to master your the interview for B2 visa, but sometimes it's just like you can't really tell with those visa because your son has to be able to prove that they will go back, right? But if they cannot prove it, then probably they're not going to get it, but they can try. It doesn't hurt to try. What is the cost of representing for my filing from the start to finish? The born identity resources. What type of filing are you talking about? First of all, you need to schedule a consultation so we will know what your case is all about. Anemic Tycoon. If you're talking about marriage, after getting green work permit based on marriage, the entire marriage case takes at least 2 years, 24 months or 18 months, from beginning to end. What I've seen so far, 18 months to 24 months. So if you're talking about green card based on marriage, just look from the date you started to the end, at least 18 months. Oh, so your son filed for you. Oh, that's basically based on my son filed for. Oh, based on family petition, based on qualifying relative. Well, first of all, you just have to know he went to what center. It's taking 17 months, 16 months from start to end, depending on what center it goes to, right? You can look at it on uscis.gov, processing time. It gives you at least the estimate time. You just have to check based on, what do you call it? Based on what center your application went to. You can always call them to USCIS to find out what is the processing time, estimated processing time for green card on that center. Okay, I can give you the estimate at 15 to 17 months from start to finish. So that's the only answer I know, but I don't know for sure. The born identity resources. You're gonna have to schedule a consultation. I don't know what case you're talking about, but you have to schedule a consultation so we know. Okay. So if you guys don't have any other question, I'm just gonna hang out because if you don't have questions, there's nothing I can do. So if you have questions, go ahead, ask your question. Let me see if I have questions here. The chances, to be honest with you, when it comes to group member, the chances, basically, when it comes to student visa, it's about the ability to pay, right? If you can show that you have the ability to pay, then your chances are higher, right? if you can show that you have the ability to pay, then chances are higher. Okay. Proof of proof that you can cover 2 years of tuition will help you with chances. Okay. So you can file your application provided that you give correct information. Okay. So yeah, I'm back. Sorry. I had to answer those questions over there as well. I had to answer those questions over there as well on Facebook. Remember, we have a private Facebook, we have YouTube, then we have a Facebook page. So I have to answer all those questions. So that's why sometimes I'm typing and sometimes I'm just talking. So you have to bear with me so that we can get as many people as oh, Lucio, sorry, Lucio. Yeah, Lucio. Can I apply for based on sham marriage? I believe it's not gonna be granted. TPS, I believe it's not gonna get granted because remember with fraudulent marriage, there's no waiver applicable for it. So even if you apply and then you use a waiver, I don't think it's going to be granted. When it comes to fraudulent marriage, frivolous asylum case, falsely claiming you're a citizen, it's pretty much bar you from any other petition. So TPS and fraudulent marriage, I don't think it's going to work. To be honest, you can try, but I don't think it's going to work. So you really have like 5% of chance or 1% because of fraudulent marriage. Okay. Anime tycoon, nobody can give you the time frame. So nobody has the time frame. You have to go to uscis.gov and check what center did your application go to. What I'm giving is just estimates. I don't know how long it's gonna take. People have been waiting for 2 years. Okay. So it might take 15 to 17 months. I don't know. You have to check your application. It tells you the center where your application went for the green card. Then you look on uscis.gov, green card processing time. Then you put your receipt date. Then it gives you an estimate. It can only give you an estimate. Nobody knows. Emeka, okay, let's answer Emeka. If your clients have been on removal proceeding for more than 10 years, master hearing scheduled December 2020, how do you handle it? Masters, what do you mean? How do you handle? You show up in court, all right? Master hearing, you show up in court. I've given up a lot of videos on how to prepare. Sorry, how to prepare for master hearing. Uh, People have been in removal for more than 10 years because of those delay backlog. But when your time comes, you still have to show up. When your time comes to be heard, you still have to show up. And then the master hearing, that's where you prepare of what type of defenses you're preparing for. So that's what I can say. Okay. Let me see another question here. If they have another question here. Yeah, you're welcome. You're welcome. So I think we got all the questions. We got all questions. Who else has a question? Affidavit, Facebook user, okay? Facebook user. When you mean by when you say affidavit of support from a U.S. citizen, when it comes to F1 visa, they want to see the money in the bank account. Let's say, for example, tuition is 15,000 a year. They have to see that you have 30,000 in the bank account ready to pay for the tuition, to cover tuition at least for 2 years. And if somebody said that they're gonna pay for you, they have to show their tax return, showing the type of money they make, if it's really sufficient to cover that tuition. So really, it's all about, it's money. Do you have the ability to pay? Does the person supporting you have the ability to pay? So financial statement. What are the kind of defense available? It depends. America, it depends. Most people apply for asylum and hope it works. Cancellation of removal, I've talked about it on my channel, but it has a lot of requirement. Some people, adjustment of status, if you have a qualifying relative, let's say spouse, child over 21 who's a U.S. citizen, who want to file for you. It just depends on what is available for you. Those are the type of defense: asylum, cancellation of removal. Oh my God. Cancellation of removal, adjustment of status, depending on whether you have a qualifying relative willing to petition for you. Oh, I'm doing good, Joseph. Thank you very much. Can I have affidavit of exemption if I have a 40 quarter credit? Yes. Are you talking B? Or are you talking about I-864? Yes. If you have it, yeah, and can prove it, yes. What kind of defense are available? Again, some people apply for asylum. Some people adjustment of status. Remember, adjustment of status, you have to have a qualifying relative, which means either a spouse, who is a U.S. citizen or lawful permanent resident, a child over 21 who's a U.S. citizen, a parent, U.S. citizen, petition for you, a lawful permanent resident. But with parent, remember, if you're older, it's going to take forever. cancellation of removal if you qualify for it. There are a lot of defenses, but you just have to qualify for the one that you're seeking. So you have to have a lawyer. You can't just show up on at the master hearing just by yourself, because you're really not going to understand anything, to be honest with you. Emeka Emerum. Facebook user, thank you. You're welcome. You're welcome. So, Emeka, you can schedule. Emeka, let me give you a link to schedule a consultation, okay? You can schedule a consultation so we can talk a little bit. Let me give you a link. Let me give you a link to schedule a consultation, okay? Emeka, this is the link. You can schedule a consultation. I charge for consultation. You already know it. You can click the link and schedule. Oh, you mean, Emeka? You can. I put the link here in the comments. You can just schedule your consultation on your own time. Okay. If you email me still, I'll send you the link again for the consultation. You can email me. I can send it to your email as well. That's fine. B, what do you mean? You mean if my work authorization expire based on adjustment of status? Oh, your workers, it's basically your adjustment of status case is pending, and then your work authorization expire. Well, you can renew it. What do you mean exemption? You don't need exemption, just renew the work permit. As long as your adjustment of status I-485 is still pending, right? So I hope you get my my answer, right? As long as you're still pending, yes. As long as I-485 is still pending, your work authorization expired, you can renew your work authorization. You apply for renewal, as simple as that. But if you don't have I-485 pending, then that's another problem. So I hope I answer your question. Okay. Okay, I guess there's no more questions. I think we have covered it. Thank you for showing up. Okay. Oh, Samora MK. Okay, I filed VAWA concurrently with I-485, received prima facie, got e-renewal, responded after 3 weeks, we received denial. Oh. You got easy renewal. We responded RFE after 3 weeks. We have denial. So, Samora, now the question is, are you going to file for appeal, or are you going to start over, depending on what the denial letter says? So there's two options, right? Either file for appeal or you start over. But it's all depend on what the denial letter says. I don't know what's in the denial letter. Strongly encourage you to book a consultation. If you book a consultation with me, you should email me the denial letter so I can go read it, then I can advise. Otherwise, let me give you the link for consultation, okay? Yeah, so Samora got the link there for consultation, but you have to like scan me your, after you book the consultation, okay, scan me your denial letter so I can read it and see what they're saying. Then I can advise you what you can do. Monafa Joseph, yes, anybody can use the same link. Monafa, it's the same link. Depending on when you're scheduling, the dates are there. You're gonna see what dates is available. Anybody can use the same link. Yeah, it's my consultation link. Thanks. Anybody can use it. So it's not private. Anybody can use it and schedule their own consultation so we can go over your case. If you want to discuss like a decision letter, yes, then you have to scan the decision letter in advance so I can read it. Then when you book your consultation, so we can really talk about it and see what we can do. Okay. Anybody else question? We can wrap up. I think we answered all questions today. To be honest, we have answered all questions today. Okay? Nothing going on with immigration news. They have DACA becoming a federal rule, but it doesn't really mean anything because a federal judge can always suspend DACA. So basically what they have to do is just Congress has to pass the law. That's it. That's the only solution. That's why I didn't talk about it because it really means nothing. So if you have DACA recipient, they just have to find another solution. That's what it is. So any other news? I don't see any major news. We just have immigrants all over being split all over the state with those governor from South bringing people here in DC, bringing people to New York. You know how this administration is so disorganized. I can't be even start talking about it because you know that's just what it is. So they say you did, but you didn't receive. Yeah, you're gonna have to file an appeal and tell them what you think. You never received page 3 and 4. So yeah, you have to file an appeal and see really what page 3 and 4 were about because you never received it. How come you never received it? That's strange. They usually send the entire yeah. So basically we have to know what they ask you for or request for evidence, and yeah, you can file an appeal if you have new facts to tell them, or you can start over, which it's going to take forever. um, yeah, you need to really just file an appeal because at this point the decision, if you don't file anything, that decision becomes final. Africa Dream Community, hi, how are you? Africa Dream Community, what do you do? Are you a business person? Let me know what you do in the comment. African Dream Community, is it like a store? Are you in DC? Like, do you want like a store I can stop by? African Dream Community, what do you do? Is it like a store? It sounds like a brand. Yes, Samora. First of all, we have to know what they ask you on RFE, what the decision letters say, what you responded to them. It's pretty much analyze the things, right? Then file an appeal. But if the appeal is not, you don't have a strong case for appeal, then the solution is to start over again. Now that you know what went wrong, this time around you can do it better. But again, you know how long it takes, 3 years to get a final decision on it. So, okay, so that's it for today. We are going to end today here. 39 minutes, almost 40. I think. Thank you for showing up. Just stay tuned. We will be doing more live sessions in September, taking questions, advising you, especially for marriage-based petitions, so we can avoid those sham marriages. Okay, so we are going to be really going hard into those marriage petitions so we can avoid those sham marriages and preserve your benefits. Okay, thank you for joining. Until next time, bye bye.